Yeah, things are getting serious for both of these teams. TYLOO fighting to stay alive in the Champions Cup. ENCE trying to get it done in a 2-0 fashion. Mirage is one where this is up in the air. This could go either way. I think TYLOO certainly are a very strong roster on this map in particular. But ENCE obviously wanted to go towards it for a reason. So we'll see what they have up their sleeve. They're going to be on the CT side. They've got the Kevlar. They've got the kit on Sunny and alongside of Smoke. TYLOO setting up inside of Palace immediately with 2 players positioned outside of Ramp.
As Nazu was saying on the desk, this was a very good map for TYLOO versus Furia. It was 16-14 and a loss, but they played really well. They had good calls when it came to just overall on this map. Good strategies behind them. This time, we're going to go see them blitzing out to A. They've already found themselves a duel and an opening trade. Sunny's hiding behind the smoke, though, and he might just be moving forward to catch off Freeman. No, he's managed to fade over towards jungle. This could be dangerous.
Well, Sunny up on top of the stairs, looking for an opportunity to take them away, but Summer P250 to the brilliant ALU gone. That's all on X7, 1v4, and while he will pick off one, headshot in. Looking for a follow-up, but I think at this point it's too far gone for X7. The flash in the air makes it confirmed. This Summer will drop him, and TYLOO would find the pistol here on Mirage.
And there it was, Freeman taking down Sunny in the end after fading through the smokes. It's 1-0 TYLOO. At this point, going in for the investment with 2 rifles. Freeman presumably not going to have enough cash, so we could see the 3 SMG buy coming through, or even he could stick down towards something like a pistol and allow himself to build up. No, he goes for the AK in the end. I was thinking maybe build up the money for the AWP, but they just want to invest straight away. And ENCE have done the same, taking out a full set of pistols on themselves. ALU with a little bit of bonus cash to play with. And the fact is here, they've got the armor to play with, as long as they've, 4 players that have helmets as well. So these SMGs don't get a whole lot of reward for it. With an opening duel going down to Sunny, he's retrieved a Galil as well. This is a great setup for ENCE now with a 1-man advantage. And not too much of a disadvantage when it comes towards these duels. The only thing is, if ALU's the one taking contact, he's only got a USP, but playing in from CT on the A bomb site, he's very passively holding down, just making sure that if they pushed out, he'd be able to spot them and help his teammate out with the nade. Unfortunately for ENCE, the stack is towards A, and TYLOO are moving on B, where just Sunny remains. He's got the Galil in hand, he's got armor to work with, but that is pretty much it.
Well, Freeman with the headshot, Sunny overrun. TYLOO again just blitzing their way through towards the B-bomb site. Somewhere doing damage, or attempting to do so here on towards the remaining players of ENCE. He will do well to find 2 more, looking for a 3rd. He's just hungry for them all. But the Pentak goes in towards the market. Mac 10 in his hands. He'll catch a player towards CT, but cannot quite drop him just yet. He'll start to move forward. Sergey will eventually fall to the rattling death sound of the Mac 10. And Ariel stays alive up in Palace, wanting to carry the Kevlar and the helmet over into the next alongside the Smoke and CZ. It's better than having nothing to work with into the next round. So TYLOO up 2-0. A good start on Mirage, exactly what they were looking for. And generally when we look at TYLOO, their T sides are always much better than their CT affair, it feels.
Well, certainly on Inferno anyways, that was 100% the case. Also to mention, they've just picked up the Galil as well, so the only loss for them in that round comes in the form of the Mac 10 and armor, really. So it's not terrible. Coming into this, ENCE don't have a lot to invest, or anything really. A couple of pistols will make an appearance. X7's bought himself a Zeus, so keep an eye on him up close. We'll see where he goes early on. Presumably bottom apartments at this point as he's moving towards B. Just try to catch him as they jump out the window. If they do, but TYLOO will be taking it slower than usual. They want to make sure they don't run into a pistol stack. They'll have a good read on the economy of the CT side. It's very easy in the first couple of rounds to know what your opponents have to work with. But ENCE are deciding to make a play of their own, moving in towards middle, where they're going to just straight push up. Flash comes over, blinds attacker, but I mean, he's safe. And now they're out in the open, trying to close the distance on those pistols. This should be easy pickings for the rifles at that range.
Well, attacker and somebody finding themselves kill after kill. Seven's going to be burnt alive by Summer, leaving Ariel on his own 1v5. He's overrun, and he is finished off. 3-0 TYLOO get the perfect start. We'll see if they can continue it into their first real challenge. ENCE pulling the AWP immediately on towards ALU. You've got the rifles in play. Everything you could possibly want here on the Finnish side. Over on TYLOO, though, they've got to try and find this 4-0 lead. We're certainly hoping they can do so with that Galil on Summer. So they're going to keep the Galil in play. The rest, though, are solid weapons. Money in the bank. We'll see if they can build on it into round number 4. Attacker heading straight through another smoke is a pretty common thing. And well, this time he is being put a stop to. Luckily, Freeman was right in behind him, and that's really solid trading from TYLOO. Although Freeman nearly fell, so it could have been a two-man advantage to play with for ENCE, but 4v4 is what we've got.
You've got the same ground to cover, but fewer bodies to do it. So the CT side at a bit of a disadvantage after losing out that early fight. But with Sunny taking one on the nade, never mind, it's quickly traded back as TYLOO closed in on the bomb side of A. Engagement, the nade going down below, lights Sergey up, and Ventet finishes him. They know there's a player in the jungle. The plant isn't possible, though, because the bomb's only coming up connector, and in the 2 versus 2, it's so much time wasted. Now they know CT's a possibility as well. More than likely, this is just going to be a plant for short, but down goes Sunny into a 2 versus 1. Now X7 has a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and he can't peek. That bomb is getting planted no matter what he wants to do about it, as he was Molotov'd off.
X7 sits back in behind the ticket box, looking over the top to try and spot something, but all he will spot is death, because Bintet puts him in the grave. It's 4-0, TYLOO. A really solid start here on the T side of Mirage. ENCE will not be too happy with this. You take a look at that money they could invest in a couple of pistols, sprinkle a little bit of Kevlar in there. But overall, you'd be wanting them to save the majority of their cash moving into the next round. So likely TYLOO will go to 5. You cannot complain about that if you're TYLOO. Bentet showing up as well, which is an important part of their play.
Certainly has been so far when you look over towards the Inferno map as well. We've got a lot to expect from TYLOO here, though. They need to do this convincingly enough. It should be a 5-0 start for them, but I'm still worried about their CT side after what we saw in Inferno. Although ENCE were only marginally better.
Oh, well, Aerial's unchecked. He will get 1 kill. We'll trade it back. Attacker and Freeman do get 2 kills, but Sergey doing his best to try and cause problems as he gets 2 on the 5-7. Finally finished off by the HE grenade. But Sunny, a player that's so proficient with this Deagle. He's a marksman indeed. He has a chance at a 1v2 as he starts to hear the bomb being planted. He'll start to round the corner. There's the first headshot connecting. Can he get the second? Of course he can. Sunny pulls it off with the Deagle. Sergey setting up the mantelpiece for him, and well, Sunny certainly delivering.
That's not a round you should be losing now if you're TYLOO.
Of course not. That's just something you just cannot deal with, though, is the fact that ENCE are just so incredible on those pistols.
That's why Mirage looked like a pretty decent map. Obviously, they touched on the desk the fact that ENCE, yes, they have a lower win rate here, but at the end of the day, they're playing against far better teams, just on average. And we saw them show up massively when it came to Inferno on an individual level. Now you're seeing the first clutch come through, and that's the first round for them. With TYLOO still having plenty of cash in the bank, though, that investment comes out, no problemo. Still no AWP to make an appearance over on the terrorist side, but they'd like to get nice and close when it comes towards that mid-control, using their smokes to close down the distance. And TYLOO being countered out by this, he can't do a whole lot. Seeing if he can find a bit of a gap, maybe spot a leg as they come through or cross over top mid. Doesn't look like he's been offered much, but lobs a nade. That's actually going to do decent damage. Doesn't land as close as it could have. But somebody falls elsewhere as X7 takes him down. Oh, that smoke has not quite worked. It's bounced over the Molotov, Dinko. You hate to see it. Just means he can't peek from as many angles. And at the end of the day, it's just a wasted smoke. It's not going to cost him his life, but could have been used elsewhere.
Well, man advantage for ENCE. X7 solo on 13. But still alive, still kicking. Minute and 4 seconds left. Summer is going to throw the smoke in towards middle. He'll land up in towards the window. Sunny is going to be playing from the ladder room. Now TYLOO can start to send Bintet up towards the connector to throw a little bit of utility up towards top corner, and Molotov in short. But X7 is pushed all the way through in towards the B apartment. So he's up close and personal. He can deal the damage here. Well, they check his position on the right. That's the problem. They're going to check the wrong corner, and X7 will deliver 2 kills, exactly what ENCE wanted. And now this push forward. TYLOO facing a 2v4, but Attacker will pull it back within touching distance. Just the one-man deficit to play with the bomb plant coming in for Bintet up in the apartments. It's certainly doable for TYLOO to steal this one away, as they are scoped in, ready for this retake attempt from ENCE.
Look at the flank coming up behind as well from Aerial. He's the key player. They suspected at just the right time, but Bintet can't get the shot off. Attacker now in a 1v3, picks up 1. He's looking for the ace clutch, has no idea where that shot came from, and TYLOO in the chaos swings out to take the kill with the op. ENCE have picked up a second round here. And that is TYLOO with a bomb plant, though, securing themselves a comfortable full buy for the next round and another attempt at picking up that 5th. the elusive fifth.
It's a little bit like this cam path. Well, Hellkiss is the sponsor of our event. You can use ECC as your code to get some extra bonuses over on Hellkiss. So make sure you go over there, use code ECC. But ENCE, they really got to thank X7 for that big showing there in the last round. Finding those 3 important kills. Delivering 2 in his position is pretty much the final nail in the coffin for TYLOO in that round. So X7 is the man to thank if you are finished. Nick comes in towards top middle. Attacker just in behind the top boxes. Sunny's actually want to get a little bit aggressive. He's hiding in the smoke. He's in a dangerous position here, especially since it's going to be a split in towards mid. 2 through underpass, 2 through top mid. Actually, once that smoke fades, Sunny is going to be in a bit of a dangerous position, but he gets back safely and short, away from any of the danger. TYLOO, flash off, has to take a different position.
He's moving in over towards jungle at the moment. Still has a sight line on Palace, but TYLOO are not coming from there. They've got that mid control that we've seen from them again and again, and they're going to split up 3, maybe 4 players through it. Somebody should be jumping through the window, though, to try and catch them off and help out on this split. Freeman, if he falls, this is going to be a big weight off ENCE's shoulders as the fight comes through. Aerial not able to quite find the frag, but does do enough damage to push him back, and the Molotov will keep him at bay for a little bit longer. Now as TYLOO come up through the connector, they haven't got any support coming from Ramp, but they're able to pick all the fights. And ENCE lose almost everybody. It's a 2 versus 4. Nobody towards the A side. Alu's got his knife out, but somehow didn't get shot at. Bentet just saw him and went, oh no, it's Alu with the op, run.
No, Bentet not quite getting the shots off. Instead comes back in towards the side. Alu trying to ramp away, but it's X7 up in the ladder room who will catch off somebody. Trading out towards the SG. Alu now the last player really being able to do anything close by. And well, X7 still chipping away, but he's stuck in mid. And Alu finished off in CT. So TYLOO will get their 5th on the board. A nice round coming in across the board from pretty much every player there involved in the action. Somebody, Summer, and Bentet. So TYLOO 5 now to play with, and they continue to look okay on the T side. Posting rounds, a little bit of a loss streak there with ENCE probably picking up.
Bentet's just died. He died to the bomb, unfortunately. It's a rifle disappearing from play. He's been snapped out of existence. And that does cost them quite significantly, though, because they actually end up having to invest all of their money into this round. Nobody's got any reserve funds to work with. So despite picking up that 5th, I mean, ENCE are now in a position where if they can manage to pull this one back, you'll most likely see a follow-up and that scoreline close in very quickly. It's not as big of a deal for ENCE to have a slower CT side here as it was for TYLOO on Inferno. I like the smoke going down in connector. This is going to afford Alu the opportunity to peek, and he takes down Attacker in the process. Putting it into a man advantage now for the CT side.
Well, somebody playing on the edge of the smoke up in the apartments. You see X7 is just wary of it. You know, smoke and TYLOO, they could be in there. I think that's a pretty safe assumption, but somebody just runs over the top, doesn't check below him, and Sunny will take an easy kill. Now TYLOO ready to try and find that trade if possible, but Alu's going to put a nail right through Summer. Last player remaining has been Tet, left in a 1v5, looking to try and do some damage as X7 gets rid of him, and that's a cleanup and a half from ENCE. All 5 players staying alive, and I don't know what TYLOO were thinking.
And that's a round that you can't afford to make ludicrous plays on, because as I said, now this is going to be ENCE with a 4th on the board more than likely. TYLOO can't really invest. I mean, they could force play up and get a few pistols, and with 2 players double eco, that might not even be the worst decision in the world for Freeman and somebody. They're going to be left on very weak weapons in the next, and exactly that decision comes through with pistols and a MAC-10 making an appearance right here. Utility is still a little bit weak, and they're going to obviously make up for that by going for a much faster play. Lots of players stacked up towards B early on. They've got no map control towards A, very little on top mid, just spotting that they haven't fully pushed it. So this is a play that doesn't really afford you any second avenues of approach. You have to go for the B side pretty much from the get-go, which is good because ENCE have 4-man stacked on A. They've got 1 player watching mid, 3 on the site. It leaves just 1 defender, and that's the ideal situation for TYLOO right now.
Well, X7 sits back looking for a couple of kills. He's found the first already, dealing with it quite well, but doesn't manage a second. Instead, Sunny has to back him up. Low HP on Summer, who's been picked off by Alu. Now it's only Attacker and Bentet left alone. The bomb will fall, and while Attacker is trying to spring into action, he will pick up one on the MAC-10 and head his way in towards the market, but he's been spotted. His position now known makes it much more difficult to try and get away, especially on 3 HP. Sergey will take his prize. Headshot, bullet between the eyes. And 4 on the board for ENCE.
This is the recovery we needed to see from them. Now for TYLOO, they're not in a position where they're able to invest after force buying up the previous round. This should be a 5th for ENCE. They're even pulling out an SMG over on X7. He'll be able to farm a little bit of extra cash. And as the time ticks away, this is where TYLOO will start to get a little bit worried because it puts a lot of pressure on them. They've just lost a couple rounds in a row. If they lose the next buy round, then that's going to be ENCE with a lot of confidence behind them, a lot of momentum built up. And that is definitely not what TYLOO want to be, losing their grasp on this map, considering they have to win it to stay alive here in the Champions Cup. This is an elimination game after all.
Exactly, and for me, ENCE are just finding some of these rounds pretty damn easy. The ones that they're winning cleanly, right? So that's the problem for TYLOO. They can win rounds here and there, but there's nothing consistent, right? ENCE will lose one. Yes, TYLOO maybe make a good play, but then ENCE straight away answer back with a clean round win where they keep 4 or 5 players alive. And for TYLOO, that can't be allowed to happen. So they're going to go for a little bit of a tactical pause and try and discuss some of the problems that could be going on. As we take a look at the scoreboard, Summer continuing to be the top fragger for the side. He certainly was playing well. I feel he was delivering quite a lot of impact on Inferno with that AWP. Haven't seen him really pull it out here on the T side of Mirage a whole lot. So ENCE certainly have that in their back pocket. They've got TYLOO, who's been on the AWP quite consistently. But this is around where, you know, ENCE coming into it certainly should be the favorites to win it, because you take a look at the buy from TYLOO, it's not going to be excellent. It won't be a buy, yes, but they won't have those AWPs. You won't have the full utility across the board. And they've even got a Galil in there as well. So things aren't exactly perfect over in the TYLOO camp, but we'll see if it is enough to get it over the line for round number 11.
The approach here is very aggressive mid-control early on. They've got players towards the B bomb site. Happy to grab a little bit of info, spot out no one's coming in through underpass. And then late on, they'll probably regroup and move over. Bomb's been left very passively down towards the tower spawn. ENCE have gained information on ramp. And at the moment, actually, TYLOO were setting up for a B hit coming through short with a rotate from Freeman to pick up that bomb and move through the apartments. So that information on ramp, despite the fact that there was someone in Palace, has actually paid off, or should pay off, pretty huge for ENCE. Because they can afford to rotate maybe one player, but they decide not to. TYLOO's still picking up one on the cross as the push comes through to the B bomb site.
Well, X7 looks to hold on with just an MP9, and it's not exactly the greatest weapon. And Sunny, a player that's been so strong for them, been so consistent, an anchor on that B bomb site, could not quite get anything done. He has been finished off very quickly indeed, giving TYLOO the man advantage and the control of the B bomb site. TYLOO looks for a shot. He gets a window of opportunity, but the slight angle was too little. He can't react quick enough. So they do fall away. TYLOO, they will pick up another round here. It's likely ENCE just back off and save the weapons. So TYLOO finally finding more success. And to be fair to them, it has been a lot of success in towards that B bomb site when they're actually finding round wins. But time and time again, we've seen Sunny step up. He just didn't deliver in this round. X7 didn't exactly have the greatest weapon to hold on. So we'll see if they can try and recover from this, moving into the next round. ENCE saving the weapons, all 3 likely to save. The only player at any sort of risk is Ariel. It'd be perfect if he threw that nade in there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 2 players close left, super low HP. But he saves over the $300 instead, not knowing what spoils of war awaited him just around the corner.
And that would have been horrible for TYLOO, right? Because then you've got to force, you've got to rebuy on 2 players. TYLOO being so strong on that AWP. And a little bit of frustration. Shocks is coming in from TYLOO from the A-bomb site. Very quick indeed, but ENCE come back into it. Double AWP setup in play. Sunny and TYLOO picking them up, and they were playing together quite a bit on Inferno. We'll see if they can find themselves success in tandem on those AWPs in round number 12. But TYLOO needs to be careful. Look at Attacker. He's all the way towards lower connector, and TYLOO's still in there.
Now starting to back off slowly. He knows the smoke's just about to fade. And as it does, this is where Attacker would go in for the peak. Flash goes through, or smoke, sorry, goes through. It's actually going to be smokes on top connector and indeed window as they look again to move towards the B bomb site. At least that's what they're telegraphing to ENCE. Sunny is ready for it, scoped in on the angle, drops over a nade. Here's the shot, but misses it. And that's going to be unfortunate. He gets a second miss on the board. 3 strikes and you're out, and he's just made the 3rd. Now they're going to close in the distance on him. Molotov down, but so too is Sunny. Still, though, the Molotov finishes Attacker off afterwards, putting it into a 3v2, and TYLOO just about getting that bomb down, but down goes somebody right afterwards. Not ideal now with Freeman in a 1v3.
No, Freeman 1 versus 3 is not going to be easy, but he will do his best. The bomb planted, the time ticking as he just needs to hold on and let it tick. Freeman moves in towards the middle of the site, wants the 1v1 fight against TYLOO. Had a chance onto Sergey as well, but cannot quite pick it up. It's ENCE recovering. At 6-6. What a game we're having here on Mirage.
And that was a good repositioning, though, coming through from Freeman. You saw TYLOO coming out. He was scoped up on the balcony, ready to take him down. And then, oh, he's actually on the site. Caught him off guard, found one kill at least, but not able to follow it through on short. And we're tied up 6-6. This is ENCE with a good recovery. We're sitting in a comfortable enough spot. Sonny wasn't having the best of times, but look at that. The Molotov gave him the second kill, so it ain't too bad at the end of the day.
Well, round 13. We take a look. TYLOO has the AWP again in play. He's been so impactful. I want to see where he goes with this weapon. Generally has been in towards the A-bomb site. Either just playing from the back of triple or peeking in towards connector. But Sonny, this time, aggressive up towards catwalk. Gets the boost over. Attacker's going to be picked off by TYLOO. That smoke, not exactly great in towards the connector. I wonder if maybe a player from ENCE body blocked it to stop it from actually landing properly. But anyway, TYLOO uses that slight gap, the misplacement of the smoke to pick up an initial kill, but Summer fills the hole. He's close by, spots the arm of Aerial, gets the kill as well. Aerial had a nade in his hand when he was peeking around the corner, and Summer goes to the pick. His teammate delivering impact as well, with somebody finding a headshot on towards Sergey. And this is better from TYLOO. A good recovery after losing the initial player, but they've lost the bomb. Sonny with a kill on the cross, and TYLOO playing from CT. He could be the linchpin for ENCE's defense, but pushing through the smoke. Sonny gets another one. TYLOO spots the player in behind the default box. He knows he's got him pinned in there. But still problems arise from multiple different positions. TYLOO spots the players crossing back into the site. The bomb's still yet to be picked up. And TYLOO can just sit back here. The 1v2 is needed from the Finnish sniper. They have the bomb. It's starting to get planted as TYLOO tries to hop up on top of the boxes, looking over the smoke. He needs the player to go his way. He cannot spot anybody just yet on the edge of the smoke. Tension's high with the X-ray off. They look over the top, and Pitep with a headshot cleans it up. TYLOO, a great recovery after losing the initial player.
Really nice play by Sonny, though. He did such good work in that round. I'm pushing through the smoke. I don't know if you noticed, when he killed the bomb planter, he started tracking the bomb immediately. That's how tuned in your senses are when you're in those kind of fights. But it's 7th on the board for TYLOO. This is what we wanted to see from them. ENCE have recovered it from their starting position, but they're certainly not getting away with this all too cleanly. As TYLOO look again for some control towards middle, a smoke down both top, excuse me, top of middle and indeed down in the window. Leaves TYLOO with a lot of control. It pushes TYLOO back from that angle on the AWP, but with nothing to block off connector, he's free to peek and make sure nobody's pushing through short. This leaves Sonny with a little bit of a weight off his shoulder. He's peeking through the middle, but looking for the players down below as the smoke goes down from himself. He can now get aggressive around that, and TYLOO know it. They back off. This isn't the mid-control that they want to try to fight. There's too many angles open. They could be peeked from the top of connector with the AWP, but instead they're peeked from the top of ramp, as Aerial's just waiting so aggressively for somebody to come through. That's a position he's been occupying quite a bit.
Yeah, Aerial's been aggressive quite consistently in towards that ramp room, and he's been getting them quite a bit of info, and this time a kill. So Aerial will be happy enough for this job that he's done, and heads in towards Underwood. Advantage picked up by ENCE, and it's not enough yet to confirm victory for ENCE. They got an opening kill in the last round and let it slip. We'll see if they can finally put it together. Aerial standing under, his work not yet done, but he is stopped. Freeman gets rid of him. TYLOO in Ninja with the AWP, so he can't exactly fall back from his position, but he's got 2 kills. Great 2 shots coming in from the Finnish sniper. It all onto Attacker now into the 1v3. Flash will go in towards jungle to see if there's anybody there. He has a fight on short, and it's unfavorable as Sonny peeks from CT. ENCE will get 7. We're going to go the distance here with the half, and it's going to be as close as you can get it. One of these teams will lead by 1, but only a margin of 1.
Sonny's been causing so much damage towards this T side, just harassing them every time they try to go for a push. That A-bomb side is closed for business when he's around.
Exactly, and I think Sonny's performance has really elevated now. And it was kind of a problem with ENCE at first, because he's such a different player from Alexi B, right? So when they bring him into the roster, you've got that problem of figuring out how you're going to fit him into the team. I was talking to Sonny a few days ago about, is he starting to fit into the team? Is the hard work paying off? Because obviously ENCE had a little bit of time off after Shanghai to practice. And he was saying they feel like they have a perfect way of playing with him now. They have a way to slot him in so he can play with his play style. Well, clearly that's paying off, because He's had 2 maps now where he's just been above everyone. So certainly looking forward to seeing the trajectory of Sunny once more.
A change of calls here. So somebody was going down towards underpass to try and split through mid as the players waited outside A, but instead they've opted to go for a push on middle. Now Ariel's in position to try and shut this down. He's got TYLOO watching it with an AWP. There's the shot hit by TYLOO as well, but Ariel's not able to follow through. They were still conscious of that, not distracted enough by the AWP.
Yeah, well, TYLOO doesn't quite see the run boost come in. He can't call that info to his teammate, but he does catch one player. Ariel can't turn fast enough, can't react fast enough, but X7 certainly can. He gets one. Look to try and flick back, but he can't do it fast enough. And now TYLOO looking like the team that are going to lead the half. It's only Sergey. He was stellar on the first map, but cannot get it done here. TYLOO will go 8-7 at the half. We're going to go to a short break, but I want to see if TYLOO can pull it back and we can go to a third.
And welcome back. 8-7, we left TYLOO in the lead, but how long will that survive? We're going into the pistol round in just a couple of seconds to figure out if they can project themselves up a little bit further or if ENCE are going to be hot on their tails yet again. My name is Mitch. With me is Dinko. For half number 2, we're staying together, aren't we?
Well,
you haven't abandoned me just
yet.
yet.
I haven't left after the first half.
Somehow.
As much as I want to, Mitch, I haven't left your side, unfortunately.
Someday.
And I think that's going to be pretty similar throughout this event. So 8-7 on the board, TYLOO. They do lead the way by 1. And we've got a smoke and a Molotov here on X7. The rest with Kevlar over on ENCE. TYLOO here with the smoke and the kit. And it's just Kevlar on the board for the rest here on TYLOO. They desperately want this pistol. They want to get a good start in the second half so they can be in prime position to send us to a third. They currently are a map down after losing their initial map pick.
Look at the setup for ENCE here. They're going down towards underpass. Ariel watching for a top mid push, and then the rest of them sitting in palace. It's very slow setup. It's going to take them a little bit of time before they can gain that ground. Ariel's going to come out on middle with X7 to try and seize that control, take any fights they might need to, and here we go. Yeah. The smoke down might delay them a little bit, but they can't afford to wait forever because the retake could come through on the mid fights.
I mean, the goal here is to send Ariel in to just poke and prod and cause problems over towards B, while the rest explode from Palace and they have X7 available through the connector. He will find himself nothing but death, but TYLOO and Sergey is certainly hitting shots. It's all into somebody left in a 1 versus 2. ENCE favored to win the pistol, but somebody, he has enough skill to pull this off, but he's been spotted. Sunny not falling. Instead, TYLOO swings into the open and finds himself the headshot. ENCE will find the pistol as well, and then we're even once more.
And well played by ENCE, finding all the duels as they went out. They just kept on trading it back, and in that 2v1 post plan, they made sure they had their crossfire, the distraction coming through. Now, for ENCE picking up an 8th round, that's important because they're able to get themselves a nice little buy, plenty of rifles making an appearance, an AK and a Galil, alongside 3 SMGs. And TYLOO go for a buy of their own with Bentet on a Scout. And this allows a lot of damage output for TYLOO. If they can find it with the Scout, find 1 or 2 tags, it makes it very easy for these CZs or the Deagle indeed to finish off their opponents. As ENCE inch it forward, it's going to be a fast push down to A. Full utility already thrown out. This kind of counters out Bentet a little bit, but he's actually gone aggressively onto the bomb site. He's looking for those CQB scout fights.
Well, Freeman sits with a deagle back inside of the ramp. He sits there waiting. TYLOO. Deagle are the pistols that TYLOO are pretty proficient with, but only one of them in play on the back of Freeman. The rest on CZs and 5.7s. And we've actually seen these pistols with high mobility really work for TYLOO in the past. They're pretty solid with these guns. So ENCE have to give it the respect that it requires, right? You can't just let it slide. You have to make sure that you're in a position where you can take every chance you can. And ENCE need to take this as well to try and extend this lead further. We're still even in round number 17. Freeman hides. He hears the rest of ENCE might be coming his way in towards the A-bomb site. Bintet finds the first shot. The scout picking it up. X7 starts to make his way forward with the MAC-10, looking to try and line them up, but Sunny on the MAC-10 as well. He's continuing to grind a little bit of cash out here in the second round. And pushing forward, Sunny picking it up. The MAC-10s are finding every kill, and that means money in the bank for ENCE. And Galil will pick up one at the end. 9 on the board for ENCE. They are into the lead once more.
Really well handled by ENCE. They don't decide, because they'd already dedicated most of their utility. 3 smokes going out, left them with very little, only the 2 then for the later push. But they slow it down. They realize something's going up. TYLOO are throwing their own smokes. They're expending the CT side utility. Eventually they go in for the push, pre-firing all the angles, making sure they're not being caught off by pistols up close, knowing the force buy would have come through, certainly as soon as Bintet found the kill on the scout. Now, afterwards, this leaves TYLOO with no money. They're completely bankrupt with a Deagle and a 5.7, the only guns making an appearance. This should put the CT side in a massively disadvantageous spot whenever they come into a fight, which is why they're grouping up. Going for a short push as a unit. The Deagle's leading the charge, but the headshot found by TYLOO. Nice nade coming through, suspecting the teammates to be there as well. And if they've got no armor and you nade them close, that's going to do quite a lot of damage. TYLOO regrouping, though, and going back out for the push on short. Again, trying to force the combat, but on the range, just not feeling good. The bomb may be left in the spawn, but it doesn't really matter at this stage, because you should be winning all the fights versus these weaker pistols.
Yeah, would have liked to bomb plant anyway. Get some extra money in there, but ENCE clearly do not need it to win the round. It's going to be 10 on the board for ENCE. TYLOO will get a buyback in. M4s across the board, utility in play. Again, no op being picked up in the hands of Summer. Can't quite afford it if he wants the utility. And so TYLOO have just got to accept they have to play with the rifles. And every single player on this team is a proficient rifler and a chance to maybe step back up into Mirage. ENCE having to hold off this aggression. Attacker straight up middle. Again, this is something we've got to get used to if you're watching TYLOO play. Yesterday, we've seen TYLOO CT sides be pretty weak. We have to see them step up in these gun rounds, and Summer is going to try and do that if possible. He's got himself the first kill onto Aerial. Man advantage in play for TYLOO.
Jump out towards the B-bomb site, leaves somebody in position.
Fully. Oh.
Okay, I was a little worried for a second there. Yes. Sunny was definitely not conscious of that possibility, but luckily his teammates spotted him out.
Yeah, well, Sunny is around the corner. He's got himself another. Summer hitting the deck, and Sunny's got the right read, but he's dropped by Bintet. He was fully focused on that short position, looking to try and pick them up, but Bintet will take that opportunity every time, and X7 not in exactly the greatest position to fight with a MAC-10, so he trades it out for the AK, and now certainly a chance for him, but he's dropped by Attacker not long after picking it up. Instead, it's Sergey, 1v2. He's found the first, needs a second here to win the 1 versus 1. It will give himself a quad kill overall in the round, but he cannot get it done. Attacker picks it up, but there's no kit. So Sergey wins the round just by delaying enough for ENCE. 11 in play for the Finnish team.
Losing to the clock is probably the worst feeling. Attacker goes back in there to see if he can upgrade over to an AK or a Krieg, but nothing floating around for him, just has the M4. Now, for the rest of the team, buying up at this point is a dangerous affair. They haven't got a lot of cash. I would like to see just the pistols to rally around the M4. As time runs out and they leave spawn, it's going to be a very late buy. I was waiting. I thought they've got money to at least take them because they were running out with USPs. There we go. Armor alongside a mixed buy of pistols. A stack towards B with 3 players. Freeman on a Deagle outside the A-bomb side, and you've got Summer with a CZ just sitting down inside a window. And they're going to try to catch ENCE off as they push towards the bomb sites. At this point, TYLOO shouldn't be the ones that are initiating the engagements. Instead, they've got to wait for ENCE to make a mistake and hopefully punish them.
TYLOO, the Molotov is going to go around the corner. flash in as well towards the ladder room to let his teammate see what's going on. And Ariel's going to jump spot, and he's going to be dropped by Binted. Headshot through. He's going to fall, and a man advantage here on TYLOO to play with. Sunny bleeding by. Headshot connects on towards Binted. Attacker with a chance to try and follow up, but it's not going to go well for him. Sunny is just hitting everything. 20 kills to 11 deaths, and Sunny has been on another level across this series. Now it's only Freeman, somebody, and Summer left inside of a 3v4. Just pistols to play with, and TYLOO connecting on the op. Even more in towards the B-bomb site, but TYLOO, this is just heartbreaking. They had a chance in the last round that this round would have just been completely different, right? It should be a walk in the park, but with Sergey winning the 1v1 on time, TYLOO are left scrambling. They can't get anything done at all. And Sunny, another easy picking for him. 3 in the round already. They knew the last whereabouts of Freeman were. CT and Sergey will connect. The bomb plant comes through as well. 4 away from victory, 4 from eliminating TYLOO. And while ENCE are certainly looking like the team that will be moving forward.
Yeah, with that one map below their belt, a 4-round lead and no signs of slowing down, this is where TYLOO are in dire straits. They have to pick this one up. The full investment coming through. If ENCE find it, then it's going to be a big comeback needed. A double op setup on Summer and somebody. And for the CT side at the moment, they're looking for mid control, but attacker backs out. And with ENCE using up their utility, it's all for the T's. They've got the map opened up for themselves. TYLOO abandoning it a little bit. They're looking more towards the ranged fight. Summer in CT with that AWP, and towards the B bomb side, somebody was peeking previously straight down through the apartments. Now instead just looking at short, knowing that they've given up the control. Ariel's about to run into the op, but doesn't get taken down by it. Now they can close in the distance.
Well, somebody doing his best to try and hold on. He doesn't quite land a shot just yet. Bintet instead, though, is certainly rattling them off. 3 kills for Bintet. X7 and TYLOO left alone. TYLOO able to pick off one. X7 has been a little bit quiet at times, but looking to step up himself. Headshot through. Flash goes through the window. TYLOO spot another player close. Needs to land the shot, but somebody gets the better of him. Now 7 on 2 HP. It will be Bintet who seals the deal. 4 kills from the Indonesian in-game leader. What a hold that was, holding off that short offense. ENCE couldn't get anywhere near the B-bomb site.
He really saved somebody there as well with this second kill when they pushed up through short. This third kill, indeed, as somebody had started to push forward, look at short. The guy was just out of his crosshair, just off his screen. But Bintet saves the day, holds B all by himself, and in no more of an important round could it have been found. 12-9, and still being able to reinvest, though. If they get a bomb plant here, it'll be possible once more. So for TYLOO, the pressure is definitely on. They're not out of hot water just yet, as ENCE sit entirely outside of the A-bomb site, fully stacked up. Utility coming over, 3 smokes. And TYLOO are in danger despite that opening pick.
It's an explosive play from ENCE. So far, so good for TYLOO, though, as kills are coming through. Attacker looking for more, and Summer saves his teammate, and the bomb, it falls right into a sandwich. TYLOO has to use the Molotov, but it push, and it comes through from Attacker off the back of the flash. TYLOO lands that shot as well, but it's not lethal. Summer still stands tall. And now the time is a factor. He's still got a minute to play with, so TYLOO slows a little bit. Hoping a mistake comes in from TYLOO, but there's no reason to. Summer takes the kill. And 10 now for TYLOO as they reach double figures. This game is certainly not over, with ENCE being in position now with 12 on the board. No money in the bank in terms of TYLOO and Ariel. There could be a buy to come through if X7 decides to drop, but overall this buy is going to have plenty of weaknesses. And our first tactical pause coming in from ENCE.
And understandably, once more, TYLOO have managed to start to really close in that distance. So it is definitely time to talk about your tactics, figure things out before this really gets out of hand. TYLOO are still in a position that if they lose a round, their economy doesn't allow them to buy back up comfortably.
Yeah.
So it's super important that ENCE take it while it's still possible. Because think about it, with the money ENCE have, if they lose this round, they most likely lose a second. Then they're tied up, and TYLOO build up financial security. They have that money to reinvest. This is where ENCE need to make it stop, or they lose their favor in this map so far. They've worked so hard to build up.
Well, they've shown that they are the masters of battling in these kind of rounds, so we'll see if they can get it done with AKs. 3 of them, UMP and a Galil as well. Setting up outside of the A-bomb site with 3 players, 2 going pretty quickly towards the underpass. Pressing A split on the cards. And a simple standard execute coming through. Smoking for CT, jungle, and the stairs alongside flashes. But look at that smoke. A huge gap in towards the jungle smoke. ENCE, a bit of a problem there. Summer starts to move forward, trying to play on triple, but the Molotovs are keeping ENCE at bay at the moment. But finally they peak. Missed shot from Summer. He gets dinked up. Still alive as he falls back in towards CT. Freeman looking for a pickup on towards Aerial, but he finds it on the UMP. This is such a great start from ENCE. 2 kills coming in off the back of the UMP and AK. And Sergey continues to frag from Palace. Summer hopping up on top of Ticket. Needs the shot to land, and well, it does. Still a 3v2 favoring the ENCE side, but the bomb not yet planted. 2 ops in play for TYLOO.
X7's in a lot of danger, peeking into the op, and there's somebody taking him down. A 2v2 out of nowhere. ENCE are now in a bit of a disadvantageous spot. The bomb is down, though. They've managed to get it planted. This pulls it back somewhat. Not a lot of utility for TYLOO. They can't smoke anything off. They have no Molotovs. Only 1 flashbang remains as Aerial goes on a very long flank. He's moving all the way around through the T-spawn, trying to come up connector behind them. But this means that Sergey has to delay as much time as he possibly can. The 1 flash already thrown out.
Well, the tap is there. They haven't exactly checked just yet. Eventually they will. Somebody, and they line up for Sergey. 3 kills overall, and he gets the double lineup. 13 for ENCE. And while the investment was a risk, but the risk certainly pays off, they get the round on the board. But coming into this one, again, they've got a pretty weak buy, but the same can be said for TYLOO. If they invest into this one, it's going to be a mixture of SMGs. It's going to be a couple of weaker weapons. And Sergey, you've just got to thank him if you're on ENCE. He's had some big rounds. He may not have delivered massively across yesterday, or even reached that consistent level we expect from him today, but he has certainly had some incredible rounds being picked up for ENCE.
They offered a whole lot up there, though. ENCE were in a 4 versus 2. They gave 2 picks to the AWP. It even came down to a 1v2. That round was not good from them, but pulled back, saved in the end. Yeah. And for TYLOO, they have got 1 disadvantage. They can't pull that off again. They haven't got 2 ops. That's the real problem for them. Investing in here as much as they can, still having a reserve of cash for the next round, leaves them with 3 SMGs and 2 pistols. Not the cream of the crop by any means.
Thought Sergey spotted the player below. Freeman does get checked by X7, but the trade is in from Summer. Sergey does one better and makes sure that ENCE are coming out on top of these battles. It's only continuing, but Bentet finds an important kill. That's such an important kill, but finally checked off by TYLOO. Attacker, the last remaining player for the TYLOO side, making his way through jungle. Bomb planted. CZ in hand. No kit, no utility. So this is still very, very difficult waters here for Attacker. He spots the head, and TYLOO will take his head off. 14-10, ENCE 2 away from victory, 2 away from eliminating TYLOO. But look at the money here on the TYLOO side. They've got M4s in play. They've got the money back in the bank. Summer can't exactly afford an AWP, so they probably won't be getting that through. And that was actually something that has been getting them quite a bit of success, right? So that's something TYLOO are going to have to try and figure out. It's hard to win off the back of the full rifles. They have got AUG, so at least there's some scope presence.
Not something we see too often these days.
Oh,
it's certainly faded off a little bit. Although we saw the success that Bentet was able to have with it, the 4K on the B side.
Oh, it's definitely still useful in a lot of positions, obviously, but definitely a little bit more expensive, less impactful. So a lot of teams certainly have dropped it. And well, TYLOO looking over the top of the smoke, spots the head finally, but cannot take the shot. Instead has to fall away. Aerial from the chair able to pick up 1, and Sergey just walking out of Palace. He'll take that kill every single day of the week. Attacker holding it in towards the connector, but ENCE, they're coming in through in forces, in stacks, and it's all on somebody. A 1v3 to try and retake this A-bomb site. I don't think somebody thinks this is even slightly possible. I hope he doesn't, because he's got to save this weapon into the next. ENCE go to map point, they go to series point, and the Finns look to recover from yesterday's disappointment.
Somebody at this point, you saw him move forward, but he's just looking for exits, and he grabs it on Sunny. Picks up an AK for himself. He'll be happy with that. Knows he doesn't have the time to pick up both kills. I mean, if they fed them, if they just rushed into jungle, sure, maybe, but 99 times out of 100, ENCE are not giving this one away. Somebody knows that. Saving over the AK-47. It's a small advantage. Maybe he can drop his teammates some pistols. That's more or less all we're hoping for at this point. You grab an M4 onto one of them, help out with extra utility, but it's still going to be a very weak buy across the board for TYLOO. Definitely not what they're hoping for. They're going to be missing a lot of utility. we've actually just seen an SMG come out on Freeman, a FAMAS on Summer.
Well, this is not the TYLOO we've seen recently in Shanghai at the CIC, unfortunately.
The thing is, they've put up good performances. It was 16-14 versus Furia on this map. We had directly afterwards then, obviously right here versus ENCE. Inferno was very close. I mean, they're fielding good performances versus good teams, but just not able. They haven't won a single map so far.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, and it's certainly looking likely that they could bow out of the tournament without seeing a map win, and that would be a hugely disappointing result for the TYLOO side. Aerial shooting towards middle, throws the Molotov in towards the connector. Summer aggressive straight away in towards Palace, showing that, well, he's going to not let ENCE just take every part of the map. He's rattling shots off as well to let them know that he's up there.
Well, for ENCE, they're clearly showing a lot of favor towards the A-bomb side. It's going to be movement in through connector late on despite the smoke up the top. This is just allowing them to clear out short. Move up, checking all their angles as they go. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. They've got plenty of time to work with. The bomb's still down towards the T spawn, so this actually might just be a skirmish that they're still playing. The mid players haven't started to push forward. Alu's trying to poke and prod. He's just spotted someone down in CT. I'd be very careful about re-peeking this if I was Summer. You've spotted a guy on ramp moving very slowly. Just post it. You probably know that's an op, and he's got a FAMAS in play. The push through the smoke. Not working out for TYLOO.
Well, Aerial with a headshot. Someone steps in with a FAMAS attacker. Makes his way through from under the wood. Wants a better position to try and deal with Palace, but Sunny has been on another level. Another kill being added to his large tally. It's on to somebody in Bentet, and Bentet is stuck in the corner of Ticket, burning. Somebody dropped by Sunny, and Bentet is gone. 16-10. ENCE stay alive. A disappointing result. We say goodbye to TYLOO without picking up a single map here at the Champions Cup.
Still, not being completely whitewashed, they can be somewhat proud of how things have played out. Bentet had a fantastic series, Summer on the AWP as well. We saw himself and somebody comboing for nearly a round win, but a bit of a misplay at the end, lining up. And it's a shame. Lots of mistakes made by TYLOO, but I think they performed better versus ENCE than I would have estimated at the very beginning of this tournament. Yeah,
ENCE came in yesterday. Immediately, they're met with Movistar Riders, a match that you'd have to expect ENCE to come out on top of. ENCE lose in quite a strange fashion as well. They come into today, and I think the positive signs are Sunny is back. He's playing so well. First map, dominating. Second map finishes on 28 kills. This guy is on another level right now, and if that's the Sunny we see in the late stages of this tournament, ENCE are a real contender for that trophy.
And ENCE had a bit of a rougher time when it came towards the very beginning, but they knew as soon as TYLOO go over to that CT side, that's where they get a little bit easier to deal with.
Yeah, on the CT side, ENCE can sometimes, TYLOO can sometimes falter. You know, we did see a lot of weaknesses come through yesterday and today as well. Even on Inferno, some of their CT setups weren't enough. And unfortunately, TYLOO are a team that they can't get anything done here at the Champions Cup. But we have got the winners on the stage with Stunner. We're going to hear from them.
Oh, wait. Is it my turn to talk? Okay, there we go. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the commentators. More importantly, I appreciate Twista coming down here and having a few words with me post-success here for the side of ENCE. Now, it's been a long year, and you come here to the later stages. You're facing elimination, but you eliminate TYLOO. However, on Inferno, things got a little close there at the end. How did they get back in the game?
I think we kind of lost the momentum to play together. The setups we had, we played a bit across setups. So we gave them a bit too much room, and we didn't react when we should have. But then we had a couple strats, and we executed them as a CT and got the lockdown.
So you talk about reacting, and there's one guy today that was certainly on one. His name is Sunny. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, a couple times.
So he's on a tear today, right? What did he eat for breakfast? Tell everybody sitting here what his secrets were.
Well, actually, probably his secret was that yesterday after we lost, he went to our practice room and he was watching all the games of TYLOO for I don't know, 4 hours, Inferno, Mirage, and probably because of that he knew everything they did, so he was on point.
Every single little tendency. Now that brings me to my next question. Obviously, Sunny is going in there doing all his research, but then you guys stack up against TYLOO on Mirage. Talk to me a little bit about the preparation there. Is it something where you guys just knew how they were going to play? Because it seemed pretty one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of their games, and also Sonny watched a lot of their games, so we just put our minds together. So basically, we knew everything they wanted to do, and we also got a bit lucky that we had a good read on some rounds, that they executed the strats we thought they do, and it worked out pretty good.
Well, speaking of working out, you guys still have a little ways to go before you get that playoff berth. You've got the Movie Star Riders coming up. Are you going to be as prepared there? Are you going to go back to the hotel room right now and watch demos? You're going to watch and study your opponent?
Yeah, we gotta do a lot more work than we did, even though we had a good good workout done against Movie Stars, but still, I don't know. I mean, we played overpass in practice and no one got over like 5 rounds, and now we got like 6 rounds, so it's a bit odd, but it will be another game.
Yeah, and that's just how scrims work. You win scrims, you lose matches. But more importantly, I'm going to get you one last word here. Natu, over on the desk, what would you have to say to him?
Nothing.
Fair enough. I don't have much to say to him either. However, I'm sure James and the crew will have quite the conversation about ENCE rallying this one back. Thank you, Twista.
Well, Twister, you don't seem to give Natu any words there at all. Natu, you survived it. You guys won at least. It's a happier day. But Twister has nothing for you other than the win. I guess that's good enough, right?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take what I can.
Yeah, he just told me his salary was just divided by 2.
Yeah,
he doesn't know. Little does he know. He's gonna check his bank account. Like, wait a minute.
It's toying with the devil.
Exactly. Mess with the bull, get the horn.
Yeah, don't mess with the boss man, right?
Nope,
He's the one in charge of it all. That's how it all goes down. But Mirage looking a lot better this time around. And Sonny, like Stunner was mentioning there, he just played lights out from start to finish. But one player I really want to highlight, because I know Sonny will get this MVP moment because of the frags, because of the kills, but Sergey across both games had so much impact. What an incredible performance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially that clutch 1-on-2 when he was in apps, he gets up basically one spray, gets the 2 kills. Very, very crucial. And overall, yeah, he's just a very, very smart player for such a young age. Like he knows when to be aggressive, when to be passive, what kind of angles he can take in certain scenarios. And more often than not, he puts himself in advantageous positions that favors him to get at least that 2-for-1 type of a situation. Sometimes he gets 3 kills because he's just that good, right? So yeah, he's pretty complete package.
Yeah, he's a very complete player, and I think that when Sonny came in, he probably had to take just a little bit of a step back, because obviously you got to leave some space for a player like Sonny with his talent, with his experience, and his impact in the game. And now I'm starting to see the good old Sergey again, like being very decisive, knowing when to be aggressive, as you said, when to be defensive. I think that clutch was a good example, and even before he gets to the clutch, he's always in good position to revenge. I think he's very quick to react when he needs to pick out of apps, get that trading onto the jungle player, then go back and be safe. Now, a really complete package. And this man right here, TYLOO, I was looking at him the whole game. 6 entry frags, almost always in the right position. He was in it. We talked about it before the game. Mirage is a map that he likes to play. So does Sonny. Well, these are the 2 highest fragger on that map. And if we could transfer this to a broader areas of maps, then that would be the secret formula for ENCE, because this was a much more convincing performance from them.
And this is the thing, right? People look at, like, and this is the problem in general with Counter-Strike fans. We just look at, like, oh, scores, stat lines, stuff like that. There are players who are doing stuff within the server that are attributing so much more than what is just given on credit on the actual kill side of things. And TYLOO there not only leading the way, but also making sure he was always in a position to capitalize and get the success here for him. Now, TYLOO may have started off strong, but again, it's the relentlessness from ENCE, which I'm happy with, is that they've been able to make these comebacks. Because I'll be honest, when I start seeing those scorelines, I was getting a bit nervous again.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of know going to it that TYLOO has the T side is where they're going to make their run, and then for them it's about scraping through rounds on the CT side, because it's just not working out. The sample size is big enough for us to make that conclusion, right? But for ENCE to be able to keep it like at 8-7 level, they could have easily gone to like a 9-6. There was a couple of rounds there that they must have felt like, okay, we're in a very, very good position on this map right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, to be honest, because for TYLOO it's rinse and repeat again from day one. A T side where they go and they win maybe more rounds that you would expect them to. They actually, they brought troubles for ENCE, even if ENCE is a good CT Mirage team, right? But TYLOO always being hard to handle, and then you switch over to the CT side, and somehow the qualities that we attribute to TYLOO, they just don't fit their CT side, right? They don't know how to make the aggression work. I think it's okay to be aggressive when you're on the T side because you are the one deciding when the round is going to go. When they're on the CT side, it's too all in. You never see them with a backup plan or a safety net when they're trying to be aggressive. So it's either it's working and it's amazing, or the round doesn't look like nothing. So it's very confusing to me, because the qualities they have on their T side, I just don't find them anymore on the CT side. And we saw it here. They lost 9 out of 11 rounds on their CT side.
Yeah, the good thing if you silver linings for TYLOO really is that they definitely found like the way of understanding when they have space to make moves, right? Like you saw on their T side when they got full control of connector, they were really good at pinching that A bomb side straight after. Everyone was super committed, and there was really nothing that the CTs could have done. Everyone just got caught with their pants down basically in those situations, right? So that's the positive. Just like it's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that they don't like to be too static, right? They want to make plays on the CT side all the time.
Maybe they should just play CT-sided practices.
Yeah, maybe.
Why did they just stop playing T-side? You know, like LFG, looking for games, CT Inferno.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing.
That's the new meta.
That's all we're doing right
That's
now.
the new meta for scrims.
Yeah.
But there is one positive here for TYLOO, or at least one man on TYLOO. The hashtag #FreeBentet will hopefully no longer be needed if he gets that move over towards Gen
I don't know,
G.
we heard maybe it's not happening. It's very complicated. It's like
wait a
a
sec, wait,
TV
wait.
soap opera.
If DK's putting it out,
I
I've
know,
got faith
he
in
usually is
DK
right,
over the morons that try and claim they know what's going on. So hopefully Bentet is going to be free. And what we're going to do is look at how the rest of this schedule is going to work out for today, because there will be a slight break in between these games. We'll be watching how it all goes down. So you can see now ENCE will move on. They will face Movistar Riders a little bit later on, a rematch of it, but in a best-of-3 moment. And I can see Maniac's throwing out the punches here, because that's what he's expecting.
Because if I'm Movistar, right, I'm shaking in my boots a little bit. I think this was a very different side of ENCE. In a best-of-3 again, you don't get to play the surprise card anymore on Overpass, for example. So you might have had the better end yesterday, but today's going to be a different story.
Big time, and then we're going to get Spirit versus Big next. It will be starting at 1 o'clock, so there'll be a slight break in between all of it. And this is a best-of-3 that will determine who will move another step forward and who will be eliminated as TYLOO. They're done and dusted, they're out of here, and hopefully we'll see a new TYLOO, whatever they can do coming into next year. But for now, we're going to go to a break. Go and enjoy yourself, get some snacks, get some lunch, get whatever else you need to be doing, because you will not want to miss Spirit versus Big. Could be a very interesting matchup, could be a one-sided one. Depends which side of Big or Spirit shows up. We'll see you in a sec.
case.